Saturday Night Podcast. So glad you could be here. So, tonight we're going to be talking about a story here in Asheville, North Carolina, known as the Pink Lady. And we're going to talk about her hauntings and what happened in Asheville at the Grove Park Inn. And then I'm going to give you a little twist of an investigation that happened probably about 20 or so years ago from a friend of mine who told me a story about their investigation. Stay tuned. Okay, so I want to start out with a little backdrop of the Grove Park Inn. So this comes from North Carolina Ghost.com. I'm not affiliated with them, but this is the site I'm using tonight. The Pink Lady of the Grove Park Inn, Asheville's Grove Park Inn, has a well-deserved reputation as one of North Carolina's premier hotels. First opened in 1913, the Grove Park was built by Edwin Wiley Grove. Grove had made his fortune selling Grove's tasteless chili tonic throughout the South. Tasteless in this case was a good thing. And then it goes on, it talks about he actually came to Asheville on his doctor's advice for good health, as there was a lot of good, wonderful health resorts in Asheville. So that's a little bit of a backdrop of him. Um, The inn has remained in continuous operation since Grove first opened it. George Gershman, Harry Houdini, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and even President Obama have stayed at the Grove Park Inn. Known for its elegance and comfort, Grove Park Inn hosts several world-class restaurants, a superior spa on the site. And I've been to the Grove Park Inn. It's absolutely beautiful, a wonderful place to visit. It's very beautiful, relaxing, and romantic setting. It really is. Um, but here's a story about the Pink Lady. The Pink Lady is the Grove Park Inn resident and much loved phantom. The kindly spirit has been seen and felt in the halls of the inn for nearly 100 years. She is said to be the spirit of a young woman who fell from her death from a balcony on the fifth floor in the Grove Park Inn in the 1920s. She is usually seen in a form of a pink mist or sometimes full-fledged apparition of a young woman in a pink ball gown. There are various stories about the young lady and how she met her inn. Some say that she had come to the inn for the evening with her married lover, and that she was threw herself off the balcony when he called off the affair. Others say she was a young debutante who accidentally slipped and fell to her death. Whatever origins the Pink Lady is, agreed or good or neutral, even even a kind spirit. So they're not finding her being evil or anything. By the way, let me just throw that out there. She seems to be particularly enjoys the company of children and seems to like the little ones, and she has appeared to them in multiple instances as well. Um, the ghost of the Pink Lady is also said enjoys playing small pranks. She has been blamed for lights, air conditioning, electrical devices turning on and off by themselves. She seems to enjoy rearranging objects in a room, and this room number is 545. So if you ever want to stay there, that's a room you want to check out and be a part of if you want to have maybe something happen. Now, I've never been a part of that before. I've been to the Grove Park Inn multiple times, but I've never experienced the Pink Lady. But it is a very interesting and fascinating story for sure. That basically she just is a very kind, loving spirit that doesn't want to harm anyone. And she likes playing jokes and pranks on people, like tickling their feet while they're trying to sleep at night. Like I said, rearranging stuff and such as this. So it's not she's not a harmful, hurtful spirit. But she does enjoy her pranks and having a good time. Now, how she died, it's a little debatable, and I'm going to get into something that I found out about 5 years ago. Okay, so about 5 years ago, I was on a radio show with a fella. His name was Matt, and I was on his radio show maybe about 3 times, and each time we talked about this same story that I'm about to tell you that he couldn't believe what happened. So you can believe this story or not if you like, that's fine. But anyway, what happened was I think it was like late '90s, early 2000s or so. Him and a group of people went in to do an investigation to Grove Park Inn. The It was probably a small group of people, not very many, that went in to do this. They took pictures throughout the place, went to the fifth floor where she's been seen. Also, the room, and then like the ballroom and places like that throughout the Grove Park Inn. So basically, they had several pictures taken, and of course, this is before cell phone pictures and all this quick. They had to get stuff developed, right? So at this point in time, they did all their investigation, got some strange noises, heard some voices, things like that, but nothing that really was definite. They also had a lady there that was a psychic that connected with the pink lady, and she had a strong connection with the pink lady apparently, and was getting some things, some vibes and stuff, but didn't really get any solitary answers from the pink lady at the time. So as they went through all of their pictures and stuff, they found in like the ballrooms, and the room 545 that they found some mists, some unexplained looks of apparitions that were in a mist form, and so they kind of counted that as unexplainable and paranormal, as well as like I said, noises they heard, some voices and things. But they did get down the hallway of the fifth floor, one of the hallways there. They had a picture, and that picture came back of a transparent apparition, but enough to where you could see their face really well. It was a man standing down the hallway, and so Matt and his team looked at these pictures. He went back himself, trying to figure out, who could this be? Who are these people that maybe stayed there, that may have been a part of the Grove Park Inn? Who could have been that was standing in this hallway? I mean, and unfortunately, I didn't get to see the picture, but I would love to sometime. And of course, at the time, Matt was working for a small little newspaper publishing area here in Asheville. And it wasn't like a big newspaper, but just a little small a newspaper. And so they're going to do all this stuff, write it up, print it up, and so on. So he was trying to figure out who could this man be that's down this hallway. So he went through some people who had stayed there, who might have stayed lengthy times there, who may have even uh, just popped in and out or whatever. He was just trying to figure out who could this gentleman be that seems to be dressed fairly well, and he was sitting around and just looking at pictures, and then all of a sudden he came across a picture of a former uh, someone who had stayed there at the Grove Park Inn. Is what I'm trying to say. And it was a picture, and this man that he saw the picture of looked exactly like the man in this picture that's an apparition. It was the exact same person. Lo and behold, of all people, it was F. Scott Fitzgerald. And here's where the story gets really freaky. So he gets the picture of F. Scott Fitzgerald and puts it up to this apparition, and it's the exact same person. It's him. That's who he got. So within a few minutes or so, or a half hour, or whatever goes by, the psychic calls Matt and says, "What? I don't know what's happened, but the pink lady is on me right now. She's talking to me, and she says they know who killed me. They know who did it." And he said, "What are you talking about exactly?" She said, "I don't really know, but apparently you know something or have a picture or something's going on there that states that you know who killed her." And he's like, "I don't understand." I mean, it's back and forth for me. And then all of a sudden, he said, "Well, I do have his picture of the apparition. It looks like F. Scott Fitzgerald." And that's when the pink lady went real crazy and saying, "Yes, that's him. That's him. That's him." So, according to what I've understood and heard through this investigation, what Matt was telling me was she is saying that it was F. Scott Fitzgerald that killed her and threw her off the balcony. And it was also stated that she was kind of like the lady of a night, so to speak. And maybe she was going to cause some trouble with his marriage, possibly. And so, again, this is a story I got. Can't confirm that F. Scott is the one that did it for sure, but according to this psychic, and according to what Matt was telling me through this whole situation, the pink lady was saying that yes, it was him. It was F. Scott. And so Matt goes back with this information to Grove Park and says, "Hey, by the way, we have this information, and I want to publish it in my newspaper." And they said, "Absolutely not. We don't want that publicity here. We don't want that be heard, talked about, or said, or anything about." So he's like, "Okay, well, it's still my paper. I'm going to publish what my findings are." So they go back to publish it, and you know how newspapers had to print. Every time it would print to go to that story, it would break. Something would happen. Something would happen to the machine. Something happened to the paper. Something. It was just constant. It took them forever. And from what I understand, they did get it printed. And hopefully, sometime down the road, I can get this story from Matt about the pink lady and this whole Grove Park investigation. But the Grove Park Inn wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. They wanted no publicity about this whatsoever. And I think it's really hard now for anybody to do an investigation there. But they still tout the fact that the pink lady is there. They just don't want that whole F. Scott Fitzgerald story out in the public to where people knew it. And the reason why I'm telling you is, reason why I'm saying it in this podcast is because I can't confirm it 100%. It was a story told to me that I'm telling to you. So you can believe it or not. It's up to you. But again, through investigations, I've been doing paranormal for 6 years. You never know who or what is going to come through and what might, solve a crime, solve a mystery, solve a story that you didn't know had a real ending to it. But again, this is just one of those instances where this is what I was told. I'm not going to throw blame on F. Scott because I don't know 100% of, the whole situation there. But to hear him tell it and how he told it multiple times, I've heard a story. I've been on his radio show 3 times in the past. So each time, he told the same story, exact same way. It makes me believe that there was something going on there for sure. And as I said, the pink lady seems to be a very loving spirit that doesn't want to harm anyone. Again, you can believe the whole who did it situation if you want with the story I'm giving you, but this again is a very interesting story in and of itself. It's not a very long story because not a lot of people understand exactly how the lady died, but there have been multiple people who have seen this woman either in full body apparition or at least a pink mist. So to say that she doesn't exist, you had to dismiss that because so many people have seen it. From children to adults, so many people have seen it. So I'm going to leave that there with you. You can comment below and let me know what you think about this story. And until next time, God bless, and we will see you soon.